What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the FIFA 17 career mode. This is episode number 26, and I want to say straight away today, guys, if you can get this video to 1,500 likes, I will upload another episode of career mode later on tonight after the final Premier League game, which I do believe is Liverpool versus West Brom. So there is your challenge, 1,500 likes for another episode of career mode later on tonight, and I'll upload it straight after the final Premier League game. And I think as well, I'm going to continue to offer you guys a chance every single Saturday of a double episode upload day if we continue to hit the like targets on the first video in the morning. So 1,500 likes and I'll upload another episode of career mode later on tonight. But still, to start today's episode off then, as you can see, Stoke City came back to us regarding the bid for Brad Guzan in the last episode. We asked Stoke City to get to £2.8 million in the last episode. They said it go as high as £2.7 million, and I thought, you know what, we don't need an extra 100 grand, that's fair enough. So Brad Guzan is almost certainly off to the Britannia Stadium, and as you can see, his transfer deadline day comes round. That is the first thing we see. So Guzan has gone. He's off to Stoke City to play under Mark Hughes. Totally fine with me. As a backup goalkeeper last season, he was okay whenever he stepped in for Valdez, but I think we could do a little bit better. And with his contract up come the end of the year as well, I did want to look for a younger goalkeeper as a replacement. And my number one target was this guy as well, Jordan Pickford of Sunderland. I said, why don't you come to the Riverside Stadium? Of course, there is a little bit of a rivalry between Sunderland and Middlesbrough as well, but I thought I could still possibly convince him to come to Riverside Stadium. I didn't have a full scout report on the guy, but I'd imagine his valuation was around £4 to £5 million. So I put in a bid of £4.5 million. I thought I'd wait and see what Sunderland said. David Moyes accepted it straight away. He clearly doesn't have much faith in a young goalkeeper like he does in real life. So he accepted that bid, and Pickford accepted the contract as well. And how about that for a quick signing as well? Jordan Pickford comes in straight away. So a quick little signing there for £4.5 million. It was a gamble, as I didn't know what his overall would be, didn't know what his stats would be, but I thought it can't be that bad. He's had a very good start this season in the absence of Vito Minone stepping in, being thrown in the deep end really by David Moyes, because he had no choice as Sunderland's number one for the time being right now at the Stadium of Light. And as you can see, I spent a little bit over his valuation by 300 grand, but he's got some very good stats. I love the high kicking stat as well at 84, and I think he looks like a pretty decent shot stopper for us. And as a backup goalkeeper, I'll certainly take it. £4.5 million, not a bad deal, that one whatsoever. And Pickford joins the Riverside Stadium as our new backup goalkeeper to Victor Valdez. And speaking of Victor Valdez, as you guys know, a theme of this transfer window has been the potential sale of our Spanish goalkeeper. And check this out, on transfer deadline day, we had a bid for our Spaniard, and it was £10 million, and that's £1.5 million over his valuation. And you're probably sitting there thinking, well, in that case, you must have accepted a deal and let him go to West Ham. Well, unfortunately, I didn't, because just look at this. There was only 3 hours left on deadline day when this bid came in from Slaven Bilic. It was £10 million, and I would totally have accepted that deal as well, because even though Valdez last season was fantastic, we all know he's going down in stats, and a lot of you guys do want me to sell him, but with only 3 hours left on the clock, that meant if we sold him, we wouldn't be able to get a replacement for him. As you guys know, on transfer deadline day, every time you advance in the calendar, it takes 1 hour off the clock. So that meant with 3 hours remaining, if we accepted this bid for Victor Valdez here, it would take him an hour to sign a contract with West Ham and go to the London Stadium, and that would mean there are 2 hours left. In that time, we would need to put in a bid for a new goalkeeper, get that bid accepted, then offer them a contract, and then complete the deal. That would take a bare minimum of 3 hours, so 3 advances, but with only 2 hours left on the clock, we wouldn't have enough time to bring in a new goalkeeper. So that was literally 1 hour too late on deadline day. At the bare minimum, we would need is 3 hours to complete a deal. That came 1 hour too late, and I was like, this is literally just typical, isn't it? Because I would have taken £10 million for West Ham despite Valdez's heroics last season, because I know a lot of you guys want me to sell him and bring in a new number one, but we wouldn't have the time. So Slaven Bilic basically just teased me on deadline day. He just completely trolled me. West Ham trolling on deadline day, because he said, right, you can either have £10 million or you can keep Victor Valdez, but if we give you that £10 million for Victor Valdez, you don't have enough time to bring in a new goalkeeper. So what do you want to do? Do you want to keep Valdez, or do you want the £10 million and you'd have to put your faith in Jordan Pickford until January? And of course, I could have done that. You know, I could have done that. I do hold my hands up and accept, because I signed Jordan Pickford, what I could have done is sold Valdez, got the £10 million in, and said, well, Picks is going to be our number one until January at the very earliest, and then, if he's not doing too well, we'll bring in a new first choice goalkeeper. But I thought to myself, is it worth it? After Valdez's fantastic year last year, wouldn't it be better just to keep him and then try and sell him in January instead, and get a new goalkeeper in, instead of having to rely on Pickford for the next few months. Because if Pickford doesn't do well, what are we going to do? We've got no one else. Unlike last season where we had Valdez and Guzan, this season, say Pickford got an injury, for example, we'd be completely up against it because we have to put our faith in Connor Ripley, who's just come back from loan, and he's 64 overall. So I thought to myself, play it safe, you know, better safe than sorry. Instead of selling Valdez, we'll keep him here. Hashtag Valdez stays. Don't hashtag that. And Victor Valdez will stay here until January at the very earliest. So there's still no guarantee he'll play out his contract and stay here for the whole of the season, but I think it's better to be safe than sorry in this sort of situation, because you saw there Gaston Ramirez got a training injury. He's out for 7 days. Not a big injury, but we've already gotten Tep injured, and I don't know why. I just feel as though right now we might be set for a bit of an injury-plagued season, and I don't know why that is. I'm just fearing the worst. So because of that, I thought I'm not going to gamble it. I'll keep Valdez here, and Pickford will be backup goalkeeper, as opposed to be forced to be our number one this season. So yeah, Valdez stays, and that was so harsh from West Ham. They just completely teased me on deadline day, trolling completely. And of all the clubs to do that to me, I mean seriously, of all the clubs in the world to go ahead and do that to me, it had to be West Ham. Of course it did, just typical. But anyway, following that, following deadline day, you saw the Ramirez injury I briefly mentioned there, out for 7 days, but he'll be okay for the next game. A look at the youth monthly report as well, and also the squad report too. Here's a look at the league table. As you can see, 3 games in, we're in 6th place with 5 points, 1 win and 2 draws as well. So not a terrible start in the league so far, especially considering the fact we faced United and Chelsea, 2 title contenders last season. Of course, Chelsea won the league last year. And also our Europa League group has been drawn as well. We've got PSV Eindhoven, PAOK, and also Austria Vienna as well. So an Austrian side, a Greek side, and a Dutch side as well in the Europa League. And that's not an easy group, no doubt about it. Those 3 sides, not bad whatsoever. But I do believe it's a group we can get through, and possibly even top it as well if we have a solid start. So 3 pretty decent teams in there, but I think we can compete in that group, no doubt about that whatsoever, and I think we'll be okay, and we should be able to get through if we take the competition seriously enough. Still following out a scout report here before we go into our first game of today's episode, which is against Newcastle United, newly promoted Newcastle United, for our first Tyne Tees derby of the series. As we welcome Rafa Benitez and the Magpies to the Riverside Stadium, we're looking to get back to winning ways after our draw against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge and make it 2 from 2 at home, and the prospect of a big win and a bragging rights in our first rival meeting with Newcastle is all the motivation we need. So let's get the win, and a big one here. Come on the Borough. Here's Berisha on the ball for Newcastle, and now makes a tackle. Now a chance on the break. It puts a lot of bodies forward here, Newcastle. And as Vieto finds Ramirez, he rolls it through towards Berahino. It's not the best of first touches, but he'll get a shot away anyway. And oh, he's hit the post. He's cannoned off the post, but Gaston Ramirez turns it in. And what a goal from the Uruguayan, who continues his fantastic start to the season. And when Berahino hit the post there, I did not expect that. What a finish from Ramirez, and we take the early lead with the first chance of the game. Berahino hits the post, but how about that from a reaction from the man in form, Gaston Ramirez? What a start. I'm fist pumping on the touchline, and we take the early lead in the Tyne Tees derby. Ramirez with a goal, and what a goal. That was absolutely incredible by Ramirez. I shouldn't be too surprised because this man's in form right now and had a great start to the season, but I guess I just saw the ball come off the post and it seemed to come back off the woodwork with so much power, so much pace. I didn't think anyone would be able to react to that ball so quickly, but Gaston Ramirez showing how good he is right now with a sensational goal as Vieto finds Adama down the right hand side here, and a great chance to make it 2. Adama sprints into the area, drills it in. Oh, it's missed everyone. Vieto was there to turn it in, but it just went behind him, and Newcastle escaped from going 2 goals down early. And just like that, they're on the break here as well as De Jong releases Berisha, who comes across and takes it round Heinz and rails it inside towards Mitrovic, who fires it way wide of the post and blazes the shot off target. I went to ground with Dominic Heinz expecting the shot. He rolled it through towards Mitrovic, who was teed up, but the striker blazes it way off target. Here's De Jong for Newcastle getting past Espinoza, and Fabio couldn't get there, and the shot hits the post, and Callum Chambers hoofs it away. I don't know who took that shot there, but it went in slow motion and eventually hit the woodwork. Well, it's been a poor game, there's no doubt about that. Not too many chances whatsoever as we're still in the lead by a goal, but I'll certainly take the result, that's for sure. Here's Berisha on the ball though for Newcastle, floats to the far post, and a great chance for him to get back on level terms, but the guy whose name I can never pronounce, Tovan or Falvin, can never say it right, mistimes the jump and heads the ball wide the post. And here is that man on the ball, getting around Menendez and coming through here, and everyone's just left him, and that's a brilliant solo goal. He just missed a brilliant chance for Newcastle to get back on level terms, but just a couple minutes later, he equalises, and how about that for an interesting celebration? In front of the home crowd, he just ran straight through, and that's one problem I'm having since the patch, and that's direct runs through the middle of the park. I just can't seem to be able to deal with it. He runs straight through, the man up top seems to put me off there, he goes through one-on-one, and Victor Valdez is beaten, and Newcastle are back on level terms. They've been the better side in this second half, no doubt about it. I feel like they deserve their equaliser, and now they've got it. Middlesbrough 1, Newcastle 1, and we surrendered our lead here with just over 25 minutes to play. And here's Chambers' tackle, finding Ramirez, and Ramirez still on the ball, waiting for the forward run of Callum Chambers, of all people. And what a goal by Callum Chambers to possibly win us the game late on in this one at the Riverside Stadium. I've bought him back from Arsenal on a permanent deal. I trust this young man in the right back role. I think he's got what it takes. And what about this for an unlikely hero, Callum Chambers, with his first goal in the Middlesbrough shirt to surely win us the game. I was waiting and waiting for the right run with Ramirez there, just holding onto the ball, waiting for someone to storm forward. I didn't think it would be Chambers, but it was, and with the first time finish, he finishes like a striker. Callum Chambers has surely delivered all 3 points for Middlesbrough in the first Tyne-Tees derby of the series. One final chance for Newcastle, possibly. Ball goes into the centre. Derone heads it away, only as far as John Joe Shelvey, and the former Swansea and Liverpool midfielder on the ball. Still Shelvey, back towards Lazar. It'll come towards Berisha. Just got to defend in these final moments here. Kieran Clark takes it around Menendez. Oh, it's just wide of the post from Kieran Clark, but that will do it. The final kick of the game. We hold on, and the game finishes at the Riverside Stadium. Middlesbrough 2, Newcastle United 1. We get the win in the first derby of the series. Delighted with that, and it's Callum Chambers, an unlikely hero, who comes up big with the winning goal. We just about held on though. I thought Kieran Clark might have scored, but instead, that man wins us the game. An unlikely hero, but we are delighted with the 3 points. I feel like with full value for these 3 points as well. Newcastle didn't play too badly in the second half, but over the course of 90 minutes, only one worthy winner in my opinion, and that was us. And man of the match goes to the man of the moment right now, Gaston Ramirez. He stepped in since the Entep injury on the opening day, and what a blessing in disguise that's proved to be, at least for the Uruguayan's sake. A goal and an assist in this game. It's 3 and 4 for him right now. What a start for our playmaker. And his goal was fantastic, but of course moment of the match has to be the late winner. Callum Chambers won us the ball back and continued his run. Ramirez trusted the right back and the former Arsenal defender with a fantastic strike into the back of the net. Tim Krul had no chance. What a fantastic goal, and we win the derby late on with Callum Chambers, an unlikely hero, delivering all 3 points. And that will end this morning's episode of Career Mode as well, guys, so a big thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. Don't forget 1,500 likes and I'll do another double episode upload day of Career Mode, and you'll see the next episode just after the football later on tonight. So thanks for watching today's episode. Don't forget 1,500 likes for another one later on tonight. Hope you enjoyed this one though, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode later on tonight.